So the state of emergency has been extended. The next thing that we're going to wrap up soon. The next thing that I want to ask you about is obviously the most contentious issue in our society right now. This issue of mandatory vaccinations and so on. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. What are your views not on the vaccine, but on the issue of mandatory vaccinations, safe zones, the whole of it? What are your views on it?
I think the government doesn't know what it's doing and is doing something. Let me start, because like you said, I'm not any expert in any medicine or anything. I ain't an expert in anything. But what I can tell you is I can read and understand. And I can listen to experts and understand what they're saying. First, the experts are saying you can still catch COVID and still pass it on to people if you are vaccinated. But these people are saying that you have to be vaccinated. We want you to be vaccinated. To protect who? The only body going to be protected with the vaccine, according to what they're saying, is the person receiving the vaccine, because if he catches the disease, his disease would not be as severe. So the only body that should be worried about not taking the vaccine is you. That didn't take it. So why this? You know why? Because government has been promised money to get Barbados vaccinated so that people can study on us, because we are a closed society. We don't go across the border and come back and go to the United States, so we are here. So they want us to use it as a case study. So Barbados will get some money for it. We already got $261 million already that we don't have to pay back. So we are a case study. If you remember correctly, India gave us the first set of vaccines. Even before they were approved for emergency use or any use. When those vaccines were finally approved, they were already in Barbados, waiting for that approval. And Barbadians took that vaccine before Indians. And there's only when nobody died from the vaccine that India decided, okay, good, but they didn't get the Britons, we can take it. Then Prime Minister Modi took it after Bajans. But it was manufactured, developed and manufactured out there, and they didn't take it. They wanted to see it work on us first. And the Prime Minister volunteered Barbados for that. She cares about somebody. Now let me get back to the mandatory vaccination. Last year, I can't remember the date, but it is the day when I walked out of Parliament over Senator Lisa Cummings coming in, having mixed up with people at the airport with COVID. Remember that time I walked out? It was that day when they passed the Employment Prevention of Discrimination Act. In that act, at Section 6, says that you can't force a person to go through any medical procedure to either to get a job or to retain it. So mandatory vaccinations is contrary to the law that the government has passed. But government isn't saying, oh, we are forcing you. They're allowing employers to break the law to achieve their end. Because right now, if the government forces it on us, in election coming up, and all vote count. So if you force me to get vaccinated against me, well, I'm voting for you. So they're allowing the employers, some of whom don't have any ability in medicine, they don't even have any business that they're running. But the government are allowing them to not taking steps against them. If
they've broken the social partnership agreement, basically.
The social partnership is a bunch of nonsense. The decision with social partnership is Martin's decision. She gets together people of like mind and having my social partnership. I used to attend the social partnership meeting when COVID thing first started, because I used to say, well, look, I might got a little bit of ability that the people might use, and I can contribute to it. But I find that I'm not invited when the people know my views prior to the meeting. Like when they had the boss plan and the force service plan and all kind of stuff. Some person from one of the newspapers, the advocate, called me and told me they hear about this thing. I said, that's nonsense. That can't happen. That's against the law. And I showed them even the Constitution, how it is against the law. So next thing you know, I'm at my desk sitting down, and I hear a phone call asking me, hey, Caswell, what happened at the meeting? I said, what meeting? Nobody invited me, because they knew my views already. And so my views were not supposed to pollute the intentions that they have, right? So I decided, but look, if you don't want my views, when they don't concur with yours, then they're going to come and talk because I see what it's all about. So if you have like minds up there saying no, and this all this mutual admiration society. What goes up there, the Prime Minister says what she wants to say, one or two people say things, and then busy cries, and he cries, and then the whole thing is what is the decision that the Prime Minister will make anyhow. Because she has, you see, one thing about the Prime Minister, you must give her credit for it. She's strategic. When she was in opposition, she courted all the unions, private sector and everybody else. You know, so, and those people marched against the last administration for less than what's going on now. You know, but they are her people now, so they can march against her. And to make sure that you have the unions quite under your arm. Literally, they took the giant set the Barbers Workers Union and give her a seat, give her a safe seat. And when poor Glenn Clark out of Barbers, but me almost couldn't get out, but you know what I mean.
So, okay, we're gonna wrap up now, Mr. Franklyn. Like I said, you're Mr. Controversy, Man of the Year. I want to ask you about your most recent stance that you took just last week at the Lord Erskine Sandyford Center, where you walked out of the proceedings. I want you to explain what transpired, one, and I also want you to explain to me your stance around Barbados going into a republic and us pretty much doing the Constitution secondary and not first. I want you to really explain the entire process to me, this transition that Barbados is going through in next month. Explain it to us, please, in layman terms. Constitution, republic, all of it.
All right. If you watch the debate, my contribution to the debate on the Constitution Amendment Bill that was set up this whole republic thing, I read, at the beginning, I read a letter to the editor that I wrote in 2000, saying that we should have a republic ever since, basically. I'm all for Barbados being a republic, but I don't want this nonsense that they're doing to create this republic. A republic, when we declare a republic, instead of saying it should be a momentous thing, it should be something that just drop in there. So what we should have had is people getting together, coming up with ideas, putting a constitution in place, you know, and when that constitution is in place, you circulate it to the population, let people have a say on it, and then that becomes ours. It is something that sprang from us. The Barbados Constitution that we have is an order to a British Parliament Act. It was never passed in our House of Assembly. So we should have come and said, well, look, we are taking control of our country for ourselves by bringing our own constitution. This republic status is under the same Barbados Independence Act of 1966 that was passed in the British Parliament. So we are taking our Republican status from Britain. Britain gave it to us too. That's exactly what it's all about.
So why are we not focusing on the Constitution right now? Why are we not doing that then?
I believe that the Prime Minister wants to have it done before she goes to elections. Because you never know what can happen. Elections, you could lose. So she don't want to lose the elections and don't achieve certain things. One, to have her name go down in history as the person who brought Barbados to Republican status, and two, to help make Barrow's name out of independence. Because you remember, Barrow was a vicious opponent to her grandfather. And Barrow decided, and he said that if he can't get Morley out of the city, he is going to get the city out of Morley. So when he couldn't beat Morley at the polls, he abolished local government. So we had no more mayor. That devastated the Morley family. And my view is that this is no revenge on Barrow. I can take Barrow to independence. Because you're not going to have independence and Republican status celebrated one day and one don't cancel out the other. And I believe it can be Barrow's independence getting cancelled out. That's what it's all about. So, and if she doesn't get a constitutional amending majority to do that in the next election, the next parliament, she can do it now. She can do anything she likes now because she has 29 seats. You only need 20. And then too, you need 14 in the Senate. They have 12, well 11 because the president doesn't vote. But she's already bought off Althea Wiggins, give her a job and call her something to Suriname, some special envoy thing, and she got 12 certain votes. So she only need 2 out of the other members of the Senate, the 2 from the opposition and the 7 independent senators. So she can find a way to get them. But she has taken, she even taken the Reverend and put him on some committee now too, so he can come back and repudiate the work that he's done. So she now has enough people, even if there was a rebellion, you can't be. They're pushing something and they're going to vote against it. So they lock him into that. I don't know what he's doing inside there. I don't think he was using inside when he accepted the invitation, because he's going to have to come to the Senate. He shouldn't be having to come to the Senate and review his own work. But that's what we have. So I'm saying we should have a new Barbados in the Constitution Act that will set up our republic. We don't have to take it from the British or from the British statute. That is offensive to me. The Constitution that will set up our republic on the 30th of November is the Constitution that Queen Elizabeth gave to us in 1966. That makes sense to you?